Now to a new first with kids. What are sacral dimples?
Tonight, Dr. Lewis First explains how to spot them on your child and whether or not it may be a cause for concern.
Parents have been asking me a whole lot of questions about the tiny hole they sometimes find over the lower back of their babies. Well, let me see if I can make some things simple about these things we call sacral dimples. Now, dimples are pits at the base of the tailbone, just above or in the buttock crease, occur in at least 2 to 3% of newborns. This tiny hole results during the closure of the lining around the spinal cord. Usually these holes connect to nothing and are no problem whatsoever, but they can also represent a problem in the closing off of the spinal cord from the skin, thus allowing a little channel to exist between the two, which can predispose your child to an infection that tracks inward from the skin to the spinal cord and may be a sign of an incompletely formed spinal cord, what we call spina bifida, or a situation where the spinal cord is stuck to tissues around the spine, what we call a tethered cord, although these conditions are quite rare. How can you tell if there is a problem? If you can see the floor of the dimple, that usually means there's no ongoing connection, especially if your child has an otherwise normal neurologic exam. If you can't, or if the dimple's higher up on the back and has near it or over it a tuft of hair or skin discoloration around the pit, or your child shows any abnormality of their neurologic exam, such as leg weakness, suggesting a problem with the spinal cord, then your child's healthcare professional will want to do some additional imaging studies, such as an ultrasound or MRI, to see if there's an open connection that requires surgical repair or an infection in that connection that requires an antibiotic. It's important not to have babies' bowel movements collect in the pit, so putting a barrier ointment over the pit and keeping it clean will prevent any risk of infection if there's the slightest chance of an open connection with that spinal cord. Hopefully, you'll find tips like these not to be the pits when it comes to recognizing the simple from the not so simple sacral dimple. This is pediatrician Dr. Lewis First from the University of Vermont Children's Hospital, reminding you to always be first with your kids.